Hey guys, it's Austin and welcome back to the channel again. We're excited to talk about a brand new product that's for the Tethrd Skeletor Sticks. Okay guys, we're excited to talk about this system for the Tethrd Skeletor Sticks. This is my personal set for these sticks. I also have these sticks down here, which is an extra set that I will walk through installing the Stick Stack Stow system on these sticks for you, just so it's very clear how they work. But you can kind of see this is my current personal set of sticks that I use and that I set up and did all the testing with. So what the system basically is it takes the need for these orange pins. So you can kind of see them, I'll put them on this camera. Those little orange pins right there, you can kind of see them on these sticks. That helps you nest the sticks together. It's a design that Tethrd patented, and it's a great design, but for me, what I found when I started using these sticks is that's the biggest complaint I had, is I had a hard time aligning those pins, and it's the same issue I had with the Tethrd 1 sticks, hence the reason I came up with a different design for stacking those sticks and these sticks together. So if you have followed our page, followed our channel for a while, you'll notice that we've had the Hawk Helium's stick mule system already released. It's a great concept, guys loved it. Has been just a great product. So we took that same kind of concept and put it on these sticks. So what you're gonna get is basically these little clips, I'll show it on this camera, that you're going to mount to your sticks. You can kind of see them there, and they're gonna have those little finger right there that's gonna lock onto the aluminum extruded channel. And then you also will see these ones, this top stick has the built-in stick mule system. So that's an option we're gonna offer on our site for these. Or you can order these ones, and you kind of see there's no stick mule. What we found by feedback from guys is that it was kind of overkill to have it on every single clip, because you really didn't need it, and it kind of got in the way when you're using our Versa hangers, which I have one right here. So our Versa hangers, they receive into these little stick mules. So you can kind of see it right there. That allows you to hang it from your saddle. Which we've shown in pictures and videos of the Hawk Helium stick mules. So I won't go into detail on that. But that was one thing we received as feedback, is like, hey, they kind of get in the way of each other. So we decided to come up with two versions. And the two versions will look just like this. They look identical. One just has this, and you kind of see another feature we did. We basically designed it so it'd be further away from the clip itself. So you can kind of see there's extra material there. The reason for that, if you look down the stick, this sticks out further. We'll figure out where my finger is. This will stick out further, so it's easier to get the Versa hanger in here when you're hanging it from your saddle. I like to hang these from my side upside down, because it's easier to get the, probably if I stand up, you'll understand it more, but it's easier to get the Versa hanger in like that and then hang it like that. So that's something that I found while using this system, and I was very specific at how I designed that. And we're going back to change the Hawk Helium stick mule system to incorporate that little distance to get it away from the stick itself. So, but anyway, so that's the system, how it's going to work. And there's one other feature that you might have noticed, didn't explain. Your ropes will now be in this little bungee system. So if you looked at these, there's those two holes. What these will come with, and each one of them will come with two sets of bungee that are going to be right around 8 inches in cut. So you're going to slide it through that hole. You can kind of see there's going to be one that goes this way and one that goes that way, and then you're just going to tie a end knot on it. So what that allows you to do is you're basically going to be able to take your bundle, instead of wrapping it around the button. That was another thing that I didn't really care for, because the standoff on this little button down here for your keeper is not very tall. So wrapping it up was pretty difficult, because you run into a point where you have too much material and it wants to like fall off of there. So it works, it's just not perfect. So then I decided to incorporate our rope tamer system into this. So you'll just bundle it up, put it on the clip, and it doesn't really matter if you bundle it up really nice and neatly or not, but then you just take the bungee, and then there's that little finger right there with a channel. Probably can see it a little bit better right there, that you're just going to wrap that over, and it's solid. Another reason for doing that with these stick mule clips is you kind of have to, because when you snap this onto this receiving channel, you don't want rope here, because if there is, it's going to be very difficult to snap it. But that's pretty much it. Once it goes together, it's solid. It's not going anywhere. How you take it off is I like to grab the standoff of the stick I want to pop off and pull it to the next standoff, and then it pops right off. It's really simple. And you can kind of see I only run 3 sticks. This 4th stick is not stealth stripped. So I designed these clips to handle if your stick is stealth stripped or if it's not. So again, it's very, very simple. Just seat it on there and just kind of clip it on there. That's it. So that's it. Let's get into how to assemble these, and so you can kind of understand what you're getting into when you get these. Okay, so first things first, what I would do if I got these sticks is I take all my ropes off. It's really easy to do. It's literally just a rope, and they just splice the end of this and it goes over their Dynalock system, which is a great system if you haven't tried it. So you basically just take it off that and then you just put it to the side for now. Next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take these pins out. To take the pins out, because you're going to reuse some of the set screws, not all of them. To take the pins out, pull this paracord up, you're basically just going to take those little screws out. They're little, just very coarse, little tiny screws. I think they're 2mm screws, so you'll need to grab your metric screwdriver or Allen wrench system or set, and then you're going to take those out. So righty tighty, lefty loosey, and I will do this real quick and we'll see you back in just a second. Okay, so one thing I forgot to note is one very helpful thing before you kind of get assembling these is to kind of maybe mark your stick with where you're going to want to install these, because you can kind of see these stack on an angle. So as these stack, you're going to want to have your clip basically stagger as it stacks. The reason for that is I mount my clip here, it's going to hit that Dynalock tab. So I'm going to want to move it over, and then I'm going to probably mark it right here. Then I'm going to mark it right there and right there. That way it doesn't interact with each other. The clips don't hit each other, and that the whole system just is kind of clean. So I'm going to mark it probably so it doesn't hit this step here. And then it's going to be shifted over, and then the next one's going to be shifted over and shifted over. So I take a little Sharpie and I just kind of mark it. It just kind of gives me a helpful reference of where I'm going. Okay guys, we got all the pins removed. Took a while. What I would suggest after doing that a second time now is I would take your Allen wrench, and I used a pair of nippers, but just of vice grips because I had these at my hands. Hold this or grab the pin to keep it from spinning, and then just kind of spin it. Some of the pins are actually just going to push through, so that's actually an added bonus, because all you need is 2 of these little set screws to install a set of clips onto your sticks. So what we're going to do our first set of clips, which is going to be our stick mule. So this is going to be on our top stick. The reason for that is when you carry these in or up the tree, you want to hang from the Versa hanger these little clips, and you want them to be on your top stick because you're going to start unclipping them. It'll make sense once we get going. But basically, I'm going to take my first stick, find out where I marked it. So this is my bottom stick, so I didn't mark that one. So I'm going to take my first stick, figure out where I marked it. So I marked it like this. You can kind of see the 3 marks. So that's my center, outside, outside. I'm gonna basically, doesn't matter which side you do it on, I'm gonna decide to do it on, because I want this to be hanging on my right side when I climb. So I'm gonna do the stick mules on, when I'm looking at the stick, on the left side. And the reason for that is I want to hang these facing down. So then I want this stick mule to be on my right hand side when they're facing down like this. If they're on the other side like this, it'd be the same thing, but the standoffs are going to be facing out away from you, or away towards the tree, which I don't really like that because they just kind of get in the way. So I want to have the standoffs facing away from me or away from the tree. So the stick mule is going to be on the left hand side. Does that make sense? So if I'm looking at the stick mule is going to be on the left hand side. So on this, I'm going to install this. Basically, you're going to take your little set screw, and on the side where the stick mule is, you're going to see a little set screw hole. I'm basically going to line it up with where I want it. Start threading the screw into there. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to make sure that I'm pushing up on the clip, because I want that set screw to go on the top side of the channel, not the bottom side of the channel. Because if I don't push up on it, it's going to want to, it's close to that channel, so it's going to want to go wherever it feels like the least amount of force to get there. So once I get it there, I'm going to give it one little crank like that. You don't have to over torque this because it doesn't need to really like force through there. It's going to grab enough, so you can kind of see my set screw is in there and it's recessed enough so when I put the Versa hanger on there, it's not going to get in the way. So that's my first one. Second one, seat the one side and then pivot it over, and then you'll know when it's on there because it'll snap, and then you can obviously see it, but you're going to set this on there. You could run just one stick mule on your stick, and on the top side of it where I'm installing this one could just be a regular stick stack Stow clip. That's just something personal preference. If you want to like carry these on the back of your saddle or on the back of a combat belt, you would want two of them, because then you can run them two Versa hangers and then run them basically horizontal with the ground. Again, get it started, and then the finishing touch, I like to change the Allen wrench so I get a little bit more leverage, and then just torque it down. Again, doesn't need to be over torqued. That's it. So then I can test it, and it snaps on there. Really quiet too. Take it off the tabletop so you can kind of see. So what you're going to do is you're going to seat one side, and the other side's not seated yet. So that's the side that's seated. This is the side that's not. This is me snapping them together just like that. That's without stealth strips, nothing. And then what I like to do from there is slide it up to make sure it's all the way. Check alignment. Make sure we have clearance on the Dynalock tab. We have clearance on the step. And then we're good to go. So then we can do our next stick. The next stick, same thing. You're going to find where your marks are at. Line it up. Take your set screws. And then start threading. Very simple from here on out. It's very repetitive. So we're going to install this next one, and then we're going to show you how to do the bungee. Okay, so we got our stick stack Stow clip on there on both sides. So then we can check alignment again to make sure we're still good. We have clearance on the top one and the Dynalock tab, and then we have clearance on the bottom one. So that's why it's really important to mark your locations. Okay, so that's done. The other thing is, like, interchangeably, if you line these up right, you can put these, so this is my bottom stick on top of my top stick, and you can tell by the stick mule button on there that it works. So let's do our bungee straps now. So you're gonna get an 8-inch roughly piece of bungee. How it's gonna work is you're gonna get two of them with each set. So I'm gonna basically look at the holes, and one side of the hole is gonna go through a lot easier. And the reason for that is the way I print these, the bottom side is gonna get a little bit more squished, so the hole is gonna be a little bit smaller sometimes. So what I do is I just run one side through, I tie my stopper knot, which is a very simple knot, and then what I'm gonna do is basically take this other side and run this through the other way. So you can kind of see stopper knots over here. I'm going to push this one through that hole, so it's going to look like that. And I'm basically going to take out all the slack in it, and then I'm going to just tie the stopper knot in there. Leave this one loose, because you will find that you may want to change the length of this. So this is 8 inches, but some guys may like it longer, the full 8 inches. Some guys may like it smaller, because if you want to, you can, the reason why we're supplying two of them with each one, with each set, or each one's gonna get their own, because if you run an aider system and you wanna use our rope tamer system that's built into this, you can basically bungee your aider at the bottom, and then bungee your Amsteel or Dyna, I can't remember what the name of it, system, Dyneema system that Tethrd has on the top side. So that is why we ship these with two pieces of bungee. So basically you're gonna have your tangle mess here. Doesn't matter how you wrap this up at the end of the hunt. You can literally just bunch it up in a ball, seat it like that, like we kind of already showed, and just wrap that over. So this is where I want to make sure length is good. So if I'm fine with that, which 8 inches looks like it's pretty good for this. Some people replace these and go with a thinner one, one that's not as bulky, but I'm happy with that. So then I'm going to take my rope, set it aside, and then I'm just going to kind of pull on that stopper knot to kind of get it really locked down so it's never going to pull through those holes. So then once that's done, I wrap this all up in its tingle little mess right now, and then just fold it over, and it's done. And through the testing, I found once you put that in that little finger there, it doesn't come out unless you really want it to. So then I can check snapping the sticks together if everything still lines up, and that these ropes, obviously there's that there, that they don't get in the way of the snapping. I can do it on the other way, just like that, and you kind of see it doesn't get in the way. It's a little bit of a rat nest because I just quickly did it and showed you how fast you can wrap your rope up at the end of a hunt, instead of trying to wrap it up with a stick. One thing I found with the reason why I like the rope tamer system, and this is kind of related, but I don't like wrapping it around and unwrapping it when I'm at hanging, like climbing up a tree. I want it to be as less motion as possible. So just a quick disconnect like that takes your rope off, and then you can just wrap it all the way around. So that's basically how you install your bungee system. It's the same way with the stick mules not built into these stick stack stow clips. Anyways, guys, that is the Tethrd Skeletor stick stack stow system with the option to add the stick mule system. Hopefully that was helpful, and hopefully this product helps you be more efficient with these sticks in the woods. Because at the end of the day, that's what Genesis 3D printing is all about. We're just trying to make you guys more efficient, more effective, so you don't have to worry so much about your gear failing you or causing more issues, and you can focus on the hunt itself and getting to spots that are a little bit more difficult than other spots. So hopefully that was helpful. Like I said, if you have any questions, leave them down below in the comments. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. We use our YouTube channel to kind of announce and release product videos for new products, so very important that you do that. But until next time, we'll chat with you guys later.